Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So last time my voice is echoing back. I think Mataji, could you mute others?
No, Prabhu. Actually, it's on Facebook, right? So I put it on pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So it's not echoing. No, it's echoing still. I think Shankarananda Prabhu is unmuted.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. There are
Okay.
two Shankarananda Prabhu, so I'm not able to understand. Anyway.
So continuing from last time, what we see, we were looking at the first chapter of Madhurya Kādambinī. So every chapter is described as a shower of rain. And we saw in the beginning how Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura actually puts himself in a humble position. And then he looks for the mercy of Mahaprabhu. He is like a dried stick in the desert, which is eagerly looking for the rainfall of the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And that's the sweet Kādambinī or Madhurya Kādambinī. And then later then we saw that how more than the happiness in the Brahman, the happiness in Krishna is actually higher, because Krishna is Rasa himself. Rasa Vaisaha, Rasam Hieva Ayam Labdhvanandi Bhavati. So just to give a recap on that, what does Rasa mean? Many times we encounter this word Rasa in our literature. What does Rasa mean? So here is the definition given by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He says that vibhavaihi anubhavaihi cha satvikaihi vyabhicharibihi swadhyatam hridi bhaktanam anita shravanadibihi yesha krishna ratihi sthai bhavaha krishna bhakti rasaha bhavet. So the Krishna rati or love for Krishna, which is also called Sthai Bhava. Sthai Bhava means it's a permanent emotion that one will have in the spiritual world. So in the spiritual world, you can have different types of relationship with Krishna. You can be a servant to Krishna, you can be a son to Krishna, you can be father or mother to Krishna, you can be lover to Krishna, or Shantarasha, a peaceful relationship can also exist. So all these are a different relationship with Krishna. So in each relationship, so when as soon as we say relationship, there is love implied in that statement. So that love takes on a mood of a servant, takes on a mood of a friend, takes on a mood of a lover, takes on a mood of a parent and son. That love is called the Sthai Bhava that everyone had for Krishna. So that Sthai Bhava becomes Bhakti Rasa. That love becomes Rasa. So why? How? Vibhavaihi. So there are four components here described in the first line of the verse. Those four components make that love of Krishna into Rasa. That is Vibhava, Anubhava, Sattvika Bhava, and Vyabhichari Bhava. Just like if you take a kesari, the sweet you make, how do you call this? Halwa, right? See, the halwa, the sweet you make, you take the suji, rava, that's the main ingredient. And you mix sugar, ghee, and other spices. And then you heat it up and then cook it nicely. Then it becomes halwa. So you need different components. So similarly, Bhakti Rasa, the Krishna Rati or the Sthai Bhava, love for Krishna is the main ingredient. All these other things makes that Krishna Rati into Bhakti Rasa. So what is Vibhava? So the Krishna Rati, love for affection, should exist somewhere. It cannot stay on its own. So it requires participants, which is Krishna and his devotee. So both of them together becomes the participants for the shelter for that Krishna Rati. So the Krishna Rati exists in the devotees, and the devotee Rati exists in Krishna. Both of them have a love for each other. And also the setting. If a lover, there are two lovers, and they want their love to be evoked, if they are sitting in a dry desert, they won't have any love feelings for each of them, the lover and the beloved. So it has to be a nice, cool setting. It has to be autumn season, spring season, and it has to be nice, breeze, and it should be in the evening time, and there should be the moon, cooling moon. Everything should be there in the proper setting, or you can have a candlelight dinner or whatever it is. So that particular setting makes the love to be evoked between the lover and the beloved. So this setting, the participants are together called the Vibhava. And then you have the Anubhava. Anubhava are the different actions. So when Krishna and gopis, they meet, they look at a side glance at each other, or they do, put a garland offer to Krishna, or they joke with each other, they speak with each other, these conversations, these evoke love. So that is the Anubhava. These actions which one does consciously. So you take a conscious effort to make that action. These are the Anubhavas. And there is Sattvika Bhava, which is unconscious actions. Like, for example, if a mother loses her son or a daughter, she goes into, she falls unconscious suddenly, right? So she is not thinking that I should fall unconscious. Suddenly this emotion of Vatsalya comes out, and then it just goes to such a high extent that she feels unconscious. So similarly, when the lover meets a beloved after a very long separation, the crying from the heart, it will come. The tears will flow through from the eyes. You would see a lot of these things in the movies, because in the movies also they use this rasa concept, but it's a material rasa. So, that crying, involuntary crying, or suddenly if you see something astonishing, you would get a horripilation in the body, which is that your hairs will stand erect on your body. These are the different sattvika bhavas which happen involuntarily. There is no voluntary effect put into that. And there is vyabhichari bhava, different emotions and moods person have in the relationship. There's sadness, happiness, cheerful, jolly, or there are 33 emotions that are described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So these different emotions come into picture, and all of these things combine together to make that Sthayi Bhava, love for Krishna, into Bhakti Rasa. So for these things to happen, you need situations, you need place, you need pastimes, right? So that's why Krishna has unlimited number of pastimes with his different devotees, because through those pastimes, the Krishna Rati is converted to Sthayi Bhava, Bhakti Rasa. And Bhakti Rasa is the bliss one attains in that relationship with the Krishna. So Bhakti Rasa is he himself, Raso Vai Saha. So the Lord himself is the personification of all the different rasas mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.1. Akhila Rasamrita Murti. So his form is a personification of all the different rasas. There are 12 different rasas existing. Rasam hi eva ayam labdhvanandi bhavati. So this ayam, this Atma, which is the Jiva, when that Jiva attains that rasa, Krishna, then he becomes Ananda. So he becomes very happy, he becomes blissful. So we discussed that. Then how this Krishna, who is a personification of rasa, he is very independent. He just appears whenever he likes, wherever he likes. So similarly, bhakti toward him also is very independent. It appears whenever it likes, wherever it likes. There is no cause for it to appear. The cause is its own will, right? So that's what we saw. And then there are different scenarios we explored. Can the bhakti arise because of our past punya karmas? No, it doesn't arise. Even if I perform thousands and thousands of ashwamedha yagya, or donate all my money to poor people and or brahmanas and other people, I don't get bhakti. Bhakti doesn't arise because of punya karma. And bhakti also does not arise because of the mercy of the Lord. Of course, in extreme cases, rare cases, you would see that Krishna himself bestows bhakti, like the case of Putana. But the general cases, he doesn't shower his mercy randomly to people, because then it would attribute a partiality toward the Lord, why he gives to those set of people and not me, right? So he doesn't give. So then we were coming to the point, then how does one get bhakti, right? So that is what he's describing next. Nirupadhi khayaha tad bhakta kripaya hetutve vastutaha bhaktanam api vaishamyam anuchittatve api. So then there is the other cause, is can the devotees give that mercy to others, that is bhakti to others, right? Can the mercy of devotee be an absolute thing? So then we should ask the question, why would a devotee give only to some people and he doesn't give to everyone? There is an inequality, impartiality, which we discussed about the same thing for the Lord, right? So then when we think about that, then this verse from Bhagavatam comes into picture, which is 11 to 46. Let's open that. So this part is discussing about the three adhikaris, Uttama Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Kanishta Adhikari in bhakti practices, right? So this particular verse is describing about Madhyama Adhikari. Ishware tad adhineshu bhalisheshu dvishatsu cha prema maitri kripa upeksha yaha karoti saha madhyama. So for Ishwara, they have prema, these madhyama devotees. Tad adhineshu, that is those who are subservient to the Supreme Lord. And to them they have maitri, affection. Balisheshu, that is those who are innocent or unknown people about bhakti, those who don't know anything about bhakti. So unto them they have kripa. Dvisatsu, to the hatred, those who hate the Supreme Lord, they have upeksha, negligence, they neglect. So here they are distinguishing people, the Madhyama Adhikari. For Krishna, they have prema. For the devotees, they have maitri, affection. And for innocent people or unknown people or people who don't know about bhakti, they have kripa. And upeksha, those who hate the Lord, they have negligence toward them. So this Madhyama Adhikari is the giver of bhakti to everyone. Iti Madhyama Bhakta Vaishamya Vidyamanatvat Bhagavataha cha Swabhakta Vashyattvena Tat Kripa Anugami Kripatvena Kinchit Asamanjasyam. So this Madhyama Adhikari is not equal to everyone. He is partial to some people. To the innocent, he is giving bhakti, and to the people who hate the Supreme Lord, he doesn't give bhakti. So it is the inequality of bhakti found in this world is because of this Madhyama Adhikari. And because the Lord is under the control of his own devotees, so his kripa also follows the Madhyama Adhikari's kripa. So if the Madhyama Adhikari decides I should give mercy to this person, then the Lord's kripa also follows that Madhyama Adhikari and then enters into that person. So it is because of this Madhyama Adhikari we see the inequality of distribution of bhakti in this world. So in this way, everything is perfectly situated. So sometimes, so the question is, how come bhakti is independent? If bhakti is dependent on the Madhyama Adhikari's will, then how come bhakti is independent, right? Yataha bhakta kripayaga hetuhu bhaktasya eva tasya hridayavartini bhakti eva. Because Bhakti is there in the heart of the Madhyamadhikari. And that is the reason for Madhyamadhikari to be able to give mercy to others. So then Bhakti becomes the reason of Bhakti. There is nothing else reason, because Bhakti is existing in the heart of the devotee. Bhakti manifests in other people. Tamina kripa udaya sambhava abhavat iti bhaktehe swaprakashatvam siddham. So if the Bhakti is not there in the heart of the Madhyamadhikari, then Bhakti cannot manifest in someone else's heart. So in this way, Bhakti's self-effulgence or its own independence is established. Ataha yaha kenapi ati bhagyena jata shraddosya sevane. So in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is mentioned this verse. Ati bhagyena, because of great fortune, somebody gets shraddha, faith in the process of bhakti. So what is the meaning of ati bhagya? Ityatra adhibhagyena shubhakarma janma bhagyam atikrantena kenapi bhakta karunyena iti tattvartha nyeha. So this adhibhagya is actually the mercy of the devotee. So because of the mercy of the devotee, which is a good fortune for the jiva, this bhakti appears. That's what we should understand. It is not shubha karma. It is that which is transcending this shubha karma. That is the mercy of the devotee. Nacha bhaktanam kripayaha pratamya asamambhavaha tesham api ishvara prayatvat iti vachyam. We should not say that, the Lord chooses a particular person, and because of that, first initially Lord chooses a particular person, and then he inspires the devotee to give mercy to that person, and that's why the devotee goes and gives the mercy to that particular person. We should not say like that. No, it is the independence of the Madhyamadhikari. He decides, where the bhakti should be given. Madhyamadhikari is the preacher. ईश्वरेण एव स्वभक्तवश्यतां स्वीकुर्वता स्वकृपा शक्ति संप्रदानी कृत स्वभक्तेन तादृशस्य भक्ति उत्कर्षस्य धानात्. Because the Supreme Lord is controlled by the devotee, and he has given the independence to the Madhyamadhikari to give wherever he finds it necessary to give the mercy. Because of that, we should understand that the bhakti follows the sweet will of Madhyamadhikari. And doesn't mean that Madhyamadhikari will just, be like, he is my enemy, I want to give it to him. He does, so he's not a Madhyamadhikari. So the definition of Kanishtadhikari, which is given in the previous verse, we can see here. Not the previous verse, next verse, I guess. Next verse. A devotee, archayam eva hare pujam yaha shraddhaye hate na tad bhakteshu cha anyeshu sa bhakta prakritaga smritaha. So a person archayam in the archana process of deity, worshipping deity in the temple, Hari, pujam. So in that he has faith. He has faith in the worship of the deity in the temple. But na tad bhakteshu, he does not have faith, in devotees. Anyeshu, for others also he doesn't care about, I don't care about anyone else. Sa bhakta prakrita simtaha. So that bhakta should be understood as prakrita or Kanishtadhikari. So Kanishtadhikari actually, says he is my enemy, he is my friend, he is, I will only worship the deity in the temple, I won't give respects to the devotees. So he is a Kanishtadhikari. So, but Madhyamadhikari does not distinguish like that. Madhyamadhikari says, he is a devotee of the Lord, I will have affection toward him. He is an innocent person, he does not hate the Supreme Lord. Doesn't matter, he is my friend or enemy, I will just give mercy to him. And then this person hates the Supreme Lord, I will just avoid his association. And that is for the benefit of the Madhyamadhikari. So in that way, he gives bhakti to whoever he meets. Antaryamina gacha ishitavyanam swa adrishta uparjita bahihi indriya vyapareshu niyamana matra karitve api swa bhakteshu swa prasada eva drishyate. So we see that Paramatma is situated in everyone's heart. Paramatma has control over everyone's senses, external senses, because of his prerana, that is inspiration only, the senses are able to act. So even in that case, though the senses of the devotees are also controlled by the Paramatma, still the Lord's mercy exists in the devotee, and that is what is inspiring the devotee to move around and give bhakti. Yaduktam Shri Gita. So he gives a quotation from Gita to show that the Lord's mercy is there in the heart of the devotee. Mat prasadat param shantim. They attain the great peacefulness because of prasada, my prasada, which is my mercy. Mat sangstang adigachati. So they come to my abode. Prasadaha cha swa kripa shaktihi danatmakaha purvam muktam eva. So that is the prasada means that is the kripa shakti of the Supreme Lord, which is mentioned previously. Just I want to pause if anyone has any questions in this discussion or any reflections before I move.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for the wonderful explanation, Prabhu. My question, Prabhu, is why is not that Jagrati path talks about that Uttamadhikari being the cause of bhakti, or is it that Uttamadhikari being the Madhyamadi platform? How does that? Why is that not mentioned, Prabhu?
Yeah. So the Uttamadhikari, he actually, here is the definition of Uttamadhikari, the previous verse. Shri Hari Uvacha Sarva Bhuteshu Ya Pashyet Bhagavad Bhavamatmanaha Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani Yeshaha Bhagavata Uttamaha. So this person sees Sarva Bhuteshu. He sees in every living entity, Pashyet, what he pashyet? Bhagavad Bhavam. Bhava toward the Supreme Lord. So he sees all the living entities have already love for Krishna. How? He is having love for Krishna. He has attained Bhava and Prema. And because of that, he projects his Bhava onto other living entities. Oh, every living entity is actually serving the Supreme Lord. They have already Bhava for Krishna. Because they have Bhava for Krishna, then what's the point of me giving to them? They already have. So because he sees like that, he projects his own Bhava onto others. He doesn't preach actually, usually. We have exceptions like Narada Muni, which is given in the scripture. Though he is Uttamadhikari, he preaches as well. There are exceptions, very rare though.
Okay, thank you for the extension.
Thank you.
So Prabhu, actually Bhakti is independent, but still it should be given by the Madhyamadhikari?
Yeah. So because Bhakti is there in the heart of the Madhyamadhikari, so Bhakti is the reason of Bhakti. So the Madhyamadhikari should have Bhakti in the heart. If he does not have, then he cannot give Bhakti to others. So in that reason, Bhakti is the reason for Bhakti.
So only because of Madhyamadhikari's Krupa can we get the Bhakti?
Yeah. So that's the general case. We have exception case like Krishna giving Bhakti, but it is very rare.
It doesn't have to do anything with our Purva Janma, Sukruti or anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Is that?
Yeah, that's what he mentioned, right? You can perform so many punya activities, nothing will happen.
Coming into Krishna consciousness is not our previous Sukruti?
No, I mean previous Sukriti in the sense it should be Bhakti with somebody else's devotee's mercy only. So for example, let's say there are so many people walking on the street. We are conducting Harinam Sankirtan. We are making them hear Krishna's name. And slowly that changes the heart over a time. And then we give prasadam to people, without any reason, only they just get the prasadam. They think it's a good food and then they just come and pick it up, or they think it's a sweet music. They come and dance, This slowly changes the heart. But again, this is also mercy of the Madhyamadhikari, because he goes out and does Harinama Sankirtan. He gives out prasadam. So this is the mercy of Madhyamadhikari as well. Once this accumulates, this Bhakti Sukriti, which we call, then after a point he gets Shraddha. But that is because of the mercy of Madhyamadhikari.
So we don't need any background.
Yeah, you don't need any background.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Rohini Kumar Prabhu raised his hand.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam. Prabhuji, my question is regarding the Rati in the heart of the devotee. So there is Rati in the heart of Krishna and in the heart of devotee. So of course in the Nitya Siddha devotee, so that's a permanent Rati. So for a sadhaka, Is it that one has to develop that? Of course, one has to do devotional service, devotional practice to develop that.
Yeah.
But was it already existing in the heart of the devotee? Of course, it's coming back to the same old question, but
the same old question. It's a controversial question. So of course, I mean, we have two different explanations even within the acharyas, our previous acharyas. One is that rati is not there in the heart. It comes from the Nitya Siddha, which is given in the Jiva Goswami's commentary to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So the Nitya Siddhas have the love. From them, it descends into the heart of the sadhaka. That is one explanation. The other explanation is that he is already having, the Atma itself is already attuned toward a Lord in a particular rati. So then just manifests after a certain point. So these are the two different views within ISKCON. So you can see whatever is suitable for you and accept it.
But what is the viewpoint of Rupa Goswami?
So Rupa Goswami did not give clearly on that subject. It is only Jiva Goswami who is defining that actually. So let's see, here is Bhakti. Let me just share my. Okay, I think this will be the last question. So in the subject of Prema Bhakti, oh, probably in the rasa. Yeah. Yeah, I would have to actually search. I will search it out and post it in the group. So basically, he says that Nitya Siddhasya Bhavasya. Let me actually search for that. Okay, yeah, here it is, the Bhava. So what is the essential nature of Bhava? Bhava has as its Swarupa or essence, Krishna's Swarupa Shakti in the form of Ladini and Samvit. This Swarupa is an eternal object and eternal manifestation, Nitya Siddha, situated within the eternal dear associates of the Lord. So this Bhava is situated in the dear associates of the Lord, uniting itself with its place of appearance, namely the mind of the devotee. So it descends from the Nitya Siddha. This bhava becomes a variety of mental conditions characterized by a favorable attitude toward the Lord. So this is Jiva Goswami's commentary on the definition of bhava given by Rupa Goswami. So here he clarifies this one.
Yeah, Prabhu, got it. But yeah, still many devotees serving the same spiritual master may manifest different types of rasas, right?
So Rupa Goswami says once rati is like a color prism glass. So if you keep that prism glass near a red rose, it will look red color. If you keep it near a white rose, it will look white color. If you keep it near a blue rose, it will shine blue. So one's heart is also like that. One associates with a particular devotee, he gets onto the bhava of that particular devotee. So depending on how much instruction you are taking from the particular spiritual master. So one may have a diksha toward some spiritual, one have acquired a diksha from a particular guru, but then he may have also a shiksha guru. So he may be taking instructions from somebody else. He may be attached to some other shiksha guru also. So he can take on to that bhava as well. So that is the explanation.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. It's mainly about serving the particular devotee.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. We'll meet again next week.
Thank you, Rajivan.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Dikshit. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.